Cam Akers as he picks up 15, forced out by Jaire Alexander, and this one's off and running.
Off and running, and expect a lot of running from the Los Angeles Rams against this Green Bay Packer defense. And right on the very first snap, they get the ball to Cam Akers and a big gash there on that left side and a big gain.
And why does Troy say that? Because the Green Bay Packers have been miserable trying to stop the run.
They have been really bad all season long, and they have been beyond bad over the last month of the season. It has been really something, and they've just not been able to slow anyone down.
They go back to it, and Kenny Clark says, oh yeah? Oh, we can't stop the run, huh, Buck, huh, Aikman? A loss of 2 on that carry by Akers.
Well, we all know about the Rams' offensive line and a lot of the changes and different lineups that they've had throughout the year. Good job there by Kenny Clark, beating the center, Brian Allen.
Well, and that center, Brian Allen, is down on a knee. He was iffy all week. Sean McVay, it's just been ridiculous, the injuries on that offensive line like you talk about. Coleman Shelton now will slide over to center, and Ode Abushi will likely come in at guard. And that is exactly what has happened. And I mean, when you are looking at a team that's had 14 different starters on their offensive line, as Allen goes to the sideline, you see how they started week 1 against the Bills. This is after Andrew Whitworth retired after the Super Bowl, and it's just been injury after injury. There's one thing that's going to just derail an offense. It's an offensive line that doesn't know who's playing next to who.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you look at 14 different offensive line combinations throughout this season. It's impossible to have any type of consistency.
And this play is shut down.
Okay, before the snap, false start, offense, number 68, 5-yard penalty, second down.
That's Ty Nsekhe, who's now the left tackle for the Rams, as they check on Brian Allen, and he didn't look good getting off the field.
No, he didn't, and I think he might have got banged up on that first play of the game, stayed in, and then just couldn't go any longer.
See that stat for that man, Sean McVay, that 14 different starters, the most by any team in a non-strike season since 1970. It's just hard to wrap your head around. Kyren Williams, the rookie, is in the backfield on 2nd and 17. And he gets it over the right side, and he's brought down immediately by Kenny Clark, who's made a couple of stops. 3rd down and long coming up.
Yeah, Kenny Clark is obviously one of those dominant players that you've got to be able to handle. He's a load inside. He's already off to a good start in this game, making a couple plays.
Rams hurry it up and make no substitutions. High snap from Shelton. Mayfield has a man and has a 1st down as he slings it to Van Jefferson for 17. And that's Baker Mayfield showing off that arm strength.
Well, they play coverage, and they're just an umbrella across the back end, and yet Van Jefferson, number 12, he just is able to come off the line of scrimmage. Nobody reroutes him. Got defensive backs dropping deep, and he just, it's like being out at practice throwing that on air. I mean, that's about as easy a completion as you can get to convert on 3rd and long.
So a 1st down up at the 47, handoff to Akers, trying to find somewhere to go. Not much, got 1. Play made by Rasul Douglas, and he was not alone. When we talked to Sean McVay about Baker Mayfield, he said on a cold night, and the wind is down, which is a blessing, but he said, I'm happy to have a guy like Baker Mayfield who's got the ability to spin the ball and get it through the air like he can.
Yeah, and he does have that ability, and I was watching him in warm-ups, and he was handling the cold, handling the football really well. I mentioned it coming into this game and how much he put some energy into this organization.
There's nothing out there. Skoranek was the closest one to it. Justin Hollins, who started the year as a Los Angeles Ram, was right there in the face of Baker Mayfield, and so now another 3rd and long.
We mentioned Baker Mayfield returning. He was here last year on Christmas Day as a Cleveland Brown, a performance that he'd like to forget. 4 interceptions in that game, so at least he's familiar with the surroundings and how loud this stadium can get.
Mayfield is not sacked yet, and now he is. Down he goes. Play made by Preston Smith. And a loss of 8 on Smith's 6th sack of the year.
Well, you got Preston Smith coming around Havenstein. They have Malcolm Brown, number 41, the tailback. He's over to that side to try to give a little bit of help, but he's watching to make sure the snap occurs, whether he needs to get back to the other side. Just does not give the right tackle any help whatsoever, and he could have used it.
Riley Dixon will punt it. With Keyshawn Nixon waiting, he's been a good return man since taking over. Line drive punt, little bit of room in front of Nixon. He gets to the edge, good return, not near the 32. That's a 19-yard return, and Aaron Rodgers, 39-year-old quarterback, out to work. No score at Lambeau.